Afternoon. What can I say? I wish it was morning. I wish it was even like 12 o'clock wake up, but it was 3 o'clock in the evening, late afternoon wake up. So I'm feeling pretty shite, to be honest. I feel like I haven't had much sleep at all. Let me just sort my face out a minute. Right. Honestly, I'm shattered. Absolutely shattered. But hey, I'm going to start off with a bit of primer. I know some would say, why bother? Oh, I wouldn't put any makeup on. I'd just get dressed and be done with it. But you see, I've had a lot of years, an awful lot of years of domestic abuse, of where I was never feeling comfortable in my own skin to try wearing makeup. I felt like I was an absolute wreck. When I did try to put any on, it was like, who's that for then? And it used to be just triggering, so I gave up. I tried numerous times, you know, to wear makeup, and in the end, it was just far easier to just forget it, you know. Sometimes that my skin would be really itchy, angry as well, so that never helped matters. But to have somebody screaming at you because you're wearing a bit of makeup, or attempting to, and I don't think I was any good at applying it either, to be honest. I had no confidence, so I tended not to bother. It was like I had no idea of where to start, how to apply it, you know. So I just didn't feel comfortable anyway. People used to snigger when I did attempt it. So in the end, it was like, I don't want this. So here we go. And when I did first started wearing makeup, I bought it in little bits. So it's like I got my BB cream, and then once I got used to wearing a bit of that, then I started using stuff on the eyes, and I wasn't amazing at it. I mean, my early videos, it's like I cringe when I look back at them. You know, I didn't blend very well. I had no idea really what I was doing, but I did my best, not knowing very much. And last year for me, 2022, was about learning how to do stuff for myself, you know. I got rid of him. Can't think what year it was now, but it's 3 years free from abuse. It will be 4 years free in May. So that is a great feeling, a great achievement. For me, it's been about the first year and the second year free from abuse was like literally getting used to doing things on my own company. it was awful. And I hated it. I was absolutely terrified. I'd be looking out all the time, looking around me all the time, because I was being stalked by my ex. He knew where I lived at the time, so he was able to be, you know, sort of watching me from afar. And it was the worst feeling in the world, having someone staring at you. The feeling of feeling stared out. And it's horrible. Absolutely awful. It was a horrible, horrible feeling. It didn't make me feel comfortable at all. And then when I got assessed on my disabilities and my health and how I struggled with stairs at home, how I was worsening, and the shock news of we having to move became, from a negative, I didn't really want to move because this was my home and at the time where I lived. Yeah, it didn't feel right that I was having to move. I loved my home, be it that I was surrounded either side by bullying neighbours, and I was just like really anxious all the time, going to the car, going from the car, because they'd always be sitting around outside watching, being nosy, you know, seeing what I was up to when I was on my own, and it was just horrible. Yeah. So I was nervous about moving and having to pack up and start a new life somewhere else, but then it's like it turns into a relief as well, especially when you're being stalked. You know, you just want to be free from all that. And I knew he was stalking. The phone used to ring a lot. It was just vile. It was very frightening. It was terrifying when he just would stalk. And then when I got this place, it was a huge relief. And then moving, packing up to move when you've got severe health issues is really, really hard. I hated it. Got something in my eye, one sec. You know, packing to move was horrible and hard when you've got no one to help you. And it was exhausting, draining, both mentally, physically. And then I was still having him stalk the house right up until before we moved. Oh, it's awful, awful times. I'm so glad when the day came to move. It was perfect, you know. It was it was absolutely perfect. And going backwards and forwards from where we moved to the house of what we were moving out of, just for the final bits, was like really, really hard because my neighbours were being nosy, ultra nosy. I mean, to come back and find them helping themselves to stuff, emptying the bin because I filled it back up again, the bin manager's bin. But they were like, oh no, that's got to go. But they were also digging up things of mine that I may have wanted. But they were digging up plants that were along her fence line, because she didn't want them there. She never liked any plants or anything next to her fence. It's disgusting what she was like. Yeah. And then there were other things. As well. Yeah. I mean, they were taking down my CCTV that I had up. I had no intention of bringing it with me because I had absolutely no clue of how to take it down and anything. I just left it. I didn't want to have the effort, the stress of, you know. So I left it for the council people to sort out, but she wanted it taken down, clearly, because she was instructing the neighbour that was a friend of hers the other side to take it down. I'm going to use this from Spoiled. This is like a tropical traveller, it's called, I think. But yeah, she was stood over one neighbour, the friend of hers, whilst he was draining my pond. My fish were out, my fish were at my dad's. He had them. Yeah. But her excuse is that the pond was smelling. I thought the pond's only been emptied, you know, free of fish a few weeks. Not like as if it's gonna be smelly or anything. Oh God. So anyway, the fact that I rumbled her, she didn't like it. Nearly fell in the pond, both of them did, in shock at seeing me looking at them, because they weren't expecting to see me again. Yeah, I turned up for something that I couldn't find, and I thought I'll have a look just to see if it's there or not, because I was handing the keys back, and to see the neighbours out in the garden destroying everything that I had put up or just owned and I did myself was just awful. Horrible. So anyhow, once I'd sort of given up on, you know, turn my back on everything to do with that house. It was lovely to just think, that's it. I'm done with that house. I'm done with the memories. I'm done with everything to do with that house. Oh, it was perfect to just turn my back on it. It was. It was great. And missing some brushes, I swear I am. But anyhow. Yeah. It was a relief. And then I spent a year see, when I got rid of him from my life, I gave myself 6 months of like grieving, if you like, over a relationship that was just toxic and evil. And then I spent, after the 6 months, I wanted to basically go back to the life of where I didn't eat animals. And veganuary was well and truly underway. And some products, I happened to nosy in at Aldi, and I picked some bits up. And then I was found something that I needed to watch on TV called Veganville. And I watched that. And that was, for me, the reason why I went vegan. I was ready to, was definitely the thing. I was ready. My eyes were opened to some of it and questioning some of the abuse to animals. Yeah. But when I was completely alone, I was able to really digest and process what actually was going on in these horrible industries. Yeah. So I already was taking the steps to be vegan, but going through what I was going through, I couldn't absorb it and do anything about it. I couldn't have been vegan with him around. There's no way. Absolutely not. He would have been just totally anti the whole thing. It would have been out of my control. But it came at the right time for me. It did. Yep, it definitely was like meant to be at the right time for me. Yeah, it was. It was definitely at the right time. Definitely. I just felt ready. To be vegan. I was definitely ready to be vegan, and it all came together for me at the right time. Then I spent so long in the build up to moving. Yeah, I've spent a little bit of time I mean, I went vegan like all in straight away. I literally got rid of all my non-vegan products. My son isn't vegan, but there was some bits that he had that he could eat. But the best part of it, my friend that lived over the road, she had them. All my non-vegan products. And I just gave it away. Yeah. So that's what I did. And it felt great. This was meant to be. This is what I wanted to do for me. I did. I felt free. It felt like I was meant to be doing this. But I wasn't allowed to be me back then. In any way, shape or form. I wasn't allowed to be me. I wasn't allowed to be this person. Yeah. I wasn't allowed. So And that was tough. Not being allowed to be the person I wanted to be. It was really tough. Yeah. So when we moved, it felt like part one of my transitioning stage, if you like. The being vegan was great. And then a completely different environment meant I could start looking at myself. Yeah. As a person, what would I like to be? And I really wanted to change how I felt about me. I wanted to be this, change of person. I did. I wanted to change what I looked like. I hated my hair, or lack of it. I had no confidence about how I looked, and I hated it. I never wore any makeup. Yeah. I didn't wear makeup. I didn't wear, the hair was not how I wanted it to look. It looked messy. I felt awful. And it took time to, to change myself. Yeah, it took time to change myself. So 2022, was about, whoops, got a bit carried away. Oh well. It's after Christmas, I'm allowed to what I want. Yeah. I wanted to feel free. I did. I wanted to feel free. And he got given a warning about stalking. He was found, he didn't think he could be traced, but he was traced. And it just felt like that was it for me. It's time for change. I needed, yeah, I did. I needed change. I needed steady yeah, I needed change. I needed change for me. And wearing makeup, and you know, it wasn't perfect. Gizmo, can you get down? You're gonna jab my eye out. I'm no makeup artist. I'm not gonna pretend I'm something I'm not. But it was stuff I'm self-taught from just watching other people and how they apply their makeup on influencers and stuff. Yeah. It was just from oh, got an itchy nose. Yeah, it was just from watching other people. I just thought I could have a go at that. I might not be perfect at it, but I'll give it a go. So I just started putting bits on. And that's what I did. And then a few months later came the wigs. The best thing I ever did. My first wig was literally the most boldest colours you would ever see. Not what you expect for somebody that's just starting out wearing wigs. I went for the most funniest one, well, the most gorgeous one. But it was like, yeah, it was the most gorgeous. But just what I would definitely call a different wig. It's not your everyday colours. It was very, very different, but it was just me at the same time. How's that? So, yeah, I felt a bit, actually, let me just, it's something I would never have done at my previous address because I would have got laughed at and it wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes. It wouldn't. I wouldn't have felt comfortable. So I just I just did what I wanted to do for me. I got my first wig, then I got another one. And then I got a few more other companies and stuff, and I started to feel comfortable wearing them. I mean, at first it was like the first wig I had, I wanted to have worn it out, but I was scared to. And then the next day I just went for it. I was like, my God. Yeah. And I had people coming up to me, love it, looks amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I had people coming up to me, they absolutely not loved it. And then when I went to another shop, is where I had a comment like, yeah, is it real? Is it real? And all this, that and the other. And it really, really knocked my confidence. Can I pull it? That was the thing. Somebody I knew. And he's a lovely person. But it was a joke that went too far. And when he saw that I was really, really upset with it, he backed off. Yeah, he did. It was like this, oops, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was like. The I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, he was a bit embarrassed. And yeah, the I shouldn't have done that. And it did upset me. I came home and cried, but I didn't get put off by it. And now I wear my wigs out all the time. Yeah, I always wear my wigs every day. And I feel really comfortable wearing them. I do. I just love them. I want to get another one of my favourite wig, which is called Pixie from Cashley's Head Shop. It's just fabulous. Can't believe I woke up at 3 o'clock today. It's awful. So embarrassed. I wanted to nip out quickly and get a few bits in, but unfortunately it didn't work out like that, but we'll see. I might nip out when I got dressed in a minute. This is definitely my favourite. It's just gorgeous. Beautiful. There you go. I love it. just a cute wig. And I just, yeah, feel the most confident in this one. The blondes definitely are my thing. And then the browns and blacks and all that. I love them all. You know, I don't particularly have a particular, but the blonde, even the white blondes, are definitely my favourites. But this one is just my favourite ever wig. It's just gorgeous. This is Pixie. So there we go. Excuse the night stuff. I'm going to get changed in a minute. But I just love this one. It's just beautiful. It is. It's gorgeous. Right, guys. I am going to shoot off. I've rambled on long enough, I'm sure. So thanks for watching. And so my makeup today is from Spoiled Lips. This is Demure. My favourite ever lippy. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is Spoiled on the Eyes. So this is this one, the Tropical Traveller. Makeup Obsession, Keep It Fresh, which is clearly marked as the highlight in the corners of my eyes and above. This one I got used for the waterline area. MUA on the cheeks. Pharmacy for my BB cream. And then this one for the contour from Revolution, which is the Imagination Highlight to the Moon palette. Clearly marked somewhere. There it is. So there we go. And then Colourpop and their vegan cruelty-free section above with the glitter and glitter. So there we go. And then this is Pixie from Cashie's Head Shop. My favourite wig ever. Love it. I tell you, it's beautiful. So yeah, today's look. The eyeliner is from Collection. This is the vegan suitable range. So that's vegan and cruelty free. So that's that. I love this because it's just easy to put on. Everybody's got their own preference. Some like the pens. I prefer the inkwell and brush. That's just me. MUA concealer. MUA mascara. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, so there we are. Right, shall love and leave. Tatty bye.